Hi, I'm GeoDev, and in this video what we're going to do is have a look at some FBX options and a few issues we know we're going to have when using Blender 2.7 and Unreal Engine. Now, as you can see here, I've got Blender 2.77, latest release from I believe last week. Now, any of you that have used Blender will know that when exporting using the FBX options, even the brand new ones, from a regular armature that you have made yourself, you're going to have problems. Now, what problems are these? Well, instead of going through the whole procedure here, what I'll do is I'll just pull up my my bodge project, and as you can see here, we have got lots and lots and lots of bits and pieces I've been messing about with. Now if I open this one, please open up, and what do we get there? As you can see here, armature, bone 1, bone 2, bone 3, and let me see if I can find the other one. Here's another one that I've messed about with, and now I've got bone end. Okay, but there's no armature there. I'll tell you about how I've done that very soon. Now I've got a few characters. I've got the mannequin, but this is where people are going to say, why the hell do I bother? Good question. I think the simple answer is Blender is free. Okay, so the issue we've got is these extra armature named, let's get that back up again. Let's get this one here. This armature. Alright, when you export, let me just show you the file that I'm playing with. Recent cylinder blend. Here we go. Now, I know I'm jumping backwards and forwards as per normal, but hey ho. Right, basically what I've got here is a cylinder and 3 bones. Okay, that's all it is. Cylinder with 3 bones. Let me just, now I have not done any animations with this at the moment, but let me see. Let me just get back into the front view. There we go, and tip R, and you can see there it's a very simple skeletal rig. Now in Epic, no, not that. In here, well, hang on, I'll go back. You can see here on the so-called outliner. Now, in the majority of the cases, you do not want a root called armature, because this can completely mess up your animations. It can mess up the orientation and lots of other issues. So what we have now, please bear with me while I jump backwards and forwards here. Now, oh look, not been there for a while. This is an issue that has been noticed by Vernocchi, I think his name is. Now if we go back up here, he was dealing with the 2.47, 2.75, 2.76, all these problems, and anybody, like I say, anybody who's used Blender will know. Now the guy is extremely good, and he's made a modified version of the FBX exporter, which you can download from here. And he did have a quick plug for the game that he's working on, because he needs this option. Okay, I don't think he's using the mannequin for that, so the guy's doing this in his own time, so go have a look at his game and give him a bit of a bump, okay, as a thank you, because he's not asking for money for this. Now that is very important in my mind. Anybody who does stuff for free and helps the community is worth his weight in gold. So let's get on about this, and basically what you have to do is download it from his Dropbox. And let's see, let's go into Windows Explorer here. Obviously, where is it? There it is. Do your copy, and let me go back. Now let's see which was my original one. That one. Alright, you go in here, you go into, not Python, you fill, go into scripts, add-ons. Yeah, I will find it. I can never find it when I want it. IO scene, FBX scene, and just paste it in here. Now obviously I didn't bother with the Mac stuff because I'm not pear-shaped, so I don't need Macs. Yeah, pun, pear, apple. Fine, leave it, Geo. Anyway, now you'll notice I have two versions of this, one with vernocchi's code change for the FBX and one without. I'll explain this to you very shortly. So the one we've got open at the moment is the one with vernocchi's code change. So what we do here is very simple. I'm not going to do any animations in this one. I will get out of that mode. There we go. So next thing to take into consideration when exporting, every time you go and export a new scene from Blender to Unreal Engine, this is the procedure you're going to have to double check. Now obviously we have scales, we're on metric, and that's my clipping. Now I've dealt with this in other videos. The last update I did on exporting from Blender or setting Blender up still applies to 2.77. So you want to be scaling 1, here metric, this scale, if I just squeeze this out a touch. Now that scale there is saying it's centimeters, okay? Decimeters, centimeters, millimeters, and yes, I work in micrometers, but not in this program. Anyway, now once you've got that, you can go up, export FBX. There's no visual differences between vernocchi's and the official. Maybe you might want to do something on that. I don't know, because I'll show you, like I say, I'll show you in a minute what the difference is. Now when you're exporting a new file, you can see I've been doing this a little bit. Now let's see if I go into, if I change that to test cylinder, there we go, that'll be fine. So we know that. Now what you need to do is go into geometry, normals. I've not done a great deal with this. I always set my smoothing to face. The really important thing is here, armatures. By default, every time you open a new scene or reopen a scene, let me put it that way, it reverts to the default settings. Extremely irritating, but hey ho, I'm gonna have to live with it. Now part of the problem is it says add leaf bones. We don't need it. Okay, so make sure you untick that and just get rid. And then all we do is export. Now if I go into Unreal Engine here, let me just get rid of that one. Now I'm just going to very quickly import. Right, where were we? Test cylinder. Open. Okay, import test cylinder number 5. Come on. Being too quick here. There it is. There we go. Bone 001, bone 002. Happy. When you're making your own armatures, and I repeat this umpteen times over this video, use this one. Okay, now I will show you. Well, that works fine. Let's see. Let me just double check my. Here we go. Can't find. What do you mean you can't find it? Hey ho. Right. That's the bee's knees. If you're making your own stuff, your own armatures, all the rest of it, then this is probably going to be the best way to go. Now I'm going to show you a slight problem with the vernocchi's file, which you might fix, I don't know. Let me see, let me go back to a new file, my standard startup file with absolutely diddly squat in there, as again, clipping, metric degrees, scale, blah 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 blah. Now I'm going to show you something which is a bit of a problem with this version, this modified version. Okay, so I'm going to import this character. I'll show you what the character is in a minute. You might recognize it, and it's one of the Infinity Blade guys. Now what we don't want is that, so we get rid of that and go delete. And I mean, this is my normal procedure, and you see, yeah, root, yeah, fine, yeah. Let's go export, FBX, content, let's just, well, before we hit OK, I'll just show you this again. Geometry, yeah, goes back to normals. I haven't closed the program down, I've just opened a new file. And yeah, add leaf bones, you like that, yeah. Just whack a T in front of that. Well, maybe not, because you might get confused. Test, there we go. Export into Unreal Engine. Import. Where is he? There he is. Open. I'm going to make a new, complete new file for this. The reason being is because, oh look, pelvis. Now if I go into the Infinity Warriors here, I'm just saying, this points something out. It will start up in a minute. Come on. Come on. There we go. So he's got a root node. Okay. Let's try something else, shall we? Now we go back into Blender. New. Import. There we go. Import. There he is, and we're like, okay. Let's just leave that sort of like dummy thing in there, shall we? And try that. Export FBX. Geometries, back to smooth. faces, armatures, on. It is somewhat annoying, trust me. I'm just going to, because I'm gonna basically all I'm gonna do after this video is just completely delete that whole folder. But export. Let's go back into Unreal. Import. There we go. Open. Import. Where is it? There he is. And you can see again it is missing the root bone. Now I don't know whether vernocchi's done something in the code to say remove anything, the armature thing completely. So to be honest, very useful addition if you need that. Now the problem being is if you wish to use the mannequin or any of the pre-made, sold, whatever characters that you get for Unreal Engine, you may have issues with this. So I'm now going to show you the other option. Now vernocchi, please don't take this the wrong way, mate. It's fantastic. It will help us, the Blender users, a great deal, because there's a lot of times, you know, especially if you're doing something like weapons, you know, stuff like that, you don't need this extra rubbish on the bottom. You just want the bones that you need, and like I say, it can cause problems with your orientation. Now the other option to do is, let me just close this down, and no, wrong one, there we go. Now I'm going to take a normal one. This is a unmodified version of 2.7. I'm going to let's see, open recent cylinder. This is the box, same cylinder as that I was just messing about with. Just going to export that as FBX. Now again, face, remove leaf bones, and let's see what I said test cylinder. Right, we'll just call this number 6 and export that. Now please bear with me on this, because I know it's dragging on, and you know, like that. What's the point? Now here's point number 1. Alright, test cylinder number 6. You just see me export it. It's the exact same one that I exported a minute ago, and you've got armature. If you can live with that, fine. If you can't, you're going to have to use vernocchi's modified code exporter. So why is this so important? Well, let me just create a new file. I'm going to import. Did I just click? No, I don't want collider. There we go. Import FBX. Now this is a mannequin. You'll know it's a mannequin when I get there. There we go. Hey, hi dude. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is delete that null, empty, whatever, because we don't need it. Alright, now I'm going to now please look at this. Okay, we have the armature that is called root. We have something here, it's called root, pelvis, blah 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 blah. Now I'm going to export this FBX. test, and again geometry, put it to face, armatures, remove leaf bones, export, and then come in here, doop. I'm just keeping this as brand new, import all, import whatever, and if we go in here, test SKA mannequin, look at the skeleton is now correct as of the UE4 skeleton. Now as a quick test, what I'm going to do here is just like that, and go into pose node. We've got everything selected. Hang on, very quickly, I'm going to set a key for the whole lot. 10,000 keys selected, and I'm going to go to 100 and select all the keys, and this is where it gets a bit silly, because I think it should be no. What upper bone twist? I don't want an upper bone twist. Upper arm. There we go. And put a key on that. That might actually be easier if I do it this way, don't you think? Should be somewhere around here. This is why I don't like outliners. Clavicle, let's see, upper arm, there we go. Geo, you gotta use the key, yeah, fine. So let me see if I can do this. Export FBX TSE mannequin underscore anim. Right, amateurs, no leaf bones, geometry, yeah, main, yeah, animation, bake animation, all keys, no, I hope that's correct. So I'll just go into export, doopy doopy doo, and into here. Now what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to gotta find it, there we go, animation. Now if this fails, don't blame me. He said yes, I have got a lot of here. Right, escape mannequin, and basically I don't want to do that, I just want to import. Hang on, done something wrong here. Okay, let's see if I messed this up. As you can tell, I don't do a lot in the animations. Well, I don't do a lot at the moment at all, so for some reason I think I've managed to get the oh, come on, flipping open. There we go. Well, at least it works. SK mannequin. Wait, the animation works, as you can see. So let me just try and find the actual SK mannequin. I don't think it actually linked to this one, so that's part of the problem of having a ton of stuff in here, because an extra one that's it. Now there should be a way. Oh, I know, because I went for SK mannequin skeleton and not UE4 mannequin skeleton. There you go. But anyway, you can see it works. Let me just do that again and actually get it on the correct animation. It might not like this, but let's see. Oh yeah, hang on. Okay, man. There we go. I just want to, yeah. The only reason why I'm doing this is just so you see it is possible. Okay. Why is that? Yeah, because it doesn't like having. I basically have to re-export it with a different name and re-import it, I think. Skeleton. Well, that's what it's telling us it's linked to. So if I go in here and I go in here, it should play. He said. There we go. You see, it does work. Okay, I think that's enough of that. So pretty much, I think at the moment the bottom line is, if you wish to create your own armatures and everything else, then it would be advisable, I believe, to use Vernocchi's modified FBX exporter. Now, if you're using the Unreal Engine I won't say sold, but available stuff, whether you're using the mannequin or the Infinity Blade Warriors, or maybe stuff you've got off the marketplace, it might be an idea to use the standard blender. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. See what you think. If you got any questions, just give us a shout on the forum. That's me there, GeoDev. I'm sure you'll find me, and I'll do my best to help you out. Okay, so we'll leave it at that, and I'll say bye bye now.